One of the beautiful things about owning dogs is they are a great responsibility. You have to look after them. They have to be walked, they have to be fed, they have to be cuddled, and they give you everything back. So there's a great question to be asked. Do we take full responsibility for ourselves? If you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, or a leader, you obviously have to take responsibility for your team, for your kids, for your students, for your congregation if you're a pastor. But what about responsibility for ourselves? Where does that start and finish? And it seems that we live in a world now where people like to pass the buck when it comes to responsibility. It's not my fault, it's not my challenge. I want the government to do it, or I want the school to do it, or I want the church to do it, or I want somebody else to handle that for me. One of the really cool things that my father taught me as a very little girl, you got to take full responsibility for your life, yes, and the best place to find a helping hand is at the end of your own arm. So where does that start and finish? So when I look at the 4 big areas of life, which is what Romax is about every single day, healthy, fit and strong, career or business that you love, be financially free and have great people in your life, who's responsible for those things in your life? So being healthy, fit and strong is not the government's responsibility. It's not up to the doctor, it's not up to the hospital. I think it's up to me to choose to be healthy, fit and strong. And this is where I get a little bit perplexed, because if I choose to be healthy, fit and strong, and I do everything I can to be my fittest and strongest, which then means I'm going to be my healthiest, which means I'm less likely to ever need to go to the doctor or the hospital, then I'm taking responsibility not just for me, but I also feel like I'm freeing up time for the doctors, the specialists, the medical professionals, who often share with me that they have to waste a lot of time on people who choose not to be healthy, fit and strong, which means they end up in the doctor's office or in the hospital, wasting the doctor's time. And I know that sounds really harsh, but if I can choose to be fit and strong so I'm healthy, so I don't have to go to the doctor, I don't have to go to the hospital, then the doctors can be using their time for people that have those horrible bad luck diseases that regardless of how fit and strong you are, you do still get them. So I want to take responsibility for my health and my fitness and my strength and my vitality and my energy, and I don't want to waste the time of medical professionals. I want them to use their time on people that really need their help. So that's my first one. My second one is career or business that you love. Whose responsibility is that? Because a lot of people whinge, moan and complain. I hate my job, I don't like my boss, I don't like the product or service I'm selling, but they're in that job. I have to take responsibility for the fact that if I interviewed for a position and I got the job, then that is my job. So my responsibility now is to do a good job rather than whinge, moan and complain about the job that was given to me. And I share that, of course, because so many business owners, people who employ people, one of the toughest things in business is to employ people, because people do exactly that. They accept a position and then they don't put in 100% effort. They don't treat it with importance. So if you want to earn money, if you want to be financially free, which is the third one, of course you have to do a good job in your job. Or you could take responsibility for your life and have what I call the ultimate experience for earning money, which is own your own business. Choose your own hours, be your own boss, choose when you go on holidays, choose how much money you earn, choose how the people that you want to work with, choose how you live your life, which is taking responsibility rather than blaming your boss or the business for the career or job that you don't like. Financial freedom is really interesting because a lot of people wait to retire so the government will look after them. A lot of people expect their family to look after them. And I go back to my father again, who taught me very specifically, I don't want you to be the person that the government has to look after. I don't want you to be the person that the family has to look after. I want you to become an independent, powerful woman who can look after herself. And I just love that whole philosophy of don't rely on other people. And it's lovely that when you retire, the government gives you money, but ultimately that money has to come from somewhere. It doesn't fall out of the sky in a pretty pink box. So do we need to take responsibility for our financial future? And it's a really, really interesting number, and all financial planners will share pretty much the same number. Only somewhere between 1 to 5% of people end up retiring. A lot of people don't want to retire because they love what they do. Wouldn't that be awesome? But if you're of retirement age, only 1 to 5% of people, depending on the country, retire without having to rely on the government or on their family and have a great life financially secure, financially free or wealthy if you want to be. But it's an easy responsibility. Spend less than you earn, invest wisely, and you can retire without having to rely on anybody. You can take full responsibility for your own financial freedom. Isn't that awesome that you've got the choice to do that? And in some countries, you don't have a choice. You have to, because the government isn't going to look after you when you retire. Relationships are really interesting. We get to put ourselves into relationships. We choose to take ourselves out of relationships. But a lot of people stay in a relationship and they blame their partner and they say, my partner does this and I don't like my partner doing that and I wish my partner wouldn't do these things. But we choose to be in a relationship. We don't have to be in that relationship. So I'm sharing all of that because I wish the world, and we say it all the time, don't we? Take responsibility. Be responsible. Be able to respond to being healthy, fit and strong, having a career or business that you love, being financially free and having great people in your life rather than having to rely on somebody else. Now, if somebody else is going to help you, that's great. But even if you need somebody to help you, wouldn't it be nice for them to see that you've done everything you possibly can on your own before you expect somebody else to help you? And regardless of what it is, whether it's the way you drive your car, the way you keep your house, where you travel, where you go shopping, there's a whole heap of things that we have to take responsibility for, or we could lay blame or expect somebody else to do it for us. And I just don't want to be that person. I don't even like somebody to offer to pick up my bags because I'm capable of carrying my own stuff. So, and that's not because I'm some kind of tough, powerful woman who's a feminist and doesn't want any help. It's just because I want to be a strong woman all on my own. So I'll share again, I love having puppy dogs. Louie, come darling. I'm here at the dam with my dogs today because they love to go swimming. It's a beautiful, well, the sun's just come out and it's just gorgeous on my face. And I would like to live my life as a fully independent, powerful, strong woman rather than having to rely on somebody else. How about you?